So let's talk about setting goals. So when it comes to setting goals, I really like this quote from Brian Tracy. It says this: success is goals, all else is commentary. Isn't that true? When you don't have a goal, you don't have it written down, you don't have something that you're really working toward, that you're tracking and you've set, then really it just becomes commentary. We're never going to reach a goal if we don't set the goal. So clear goals really becomes like the wind in your sails. You have to have the goal. You got to have the drive, the desire, the plan to grow your practice if you want to see those kinds of results when it comes to your marketing. I love this Harvard study. In 1979, there was an interview of graduates, and 84% had no specific goals. You know, it's not that they didn't want anything in life, they just didn't have any specific goals. 13% had goals, but they weren't written down. 3% though had clear written goals and plans to accomplish them. What do you think the end result was? You might be surprised. The 13% of the class who had goals were earning on average twice as much as the 84% who had no goals. Even more staggering is that the 3% who had clear written goals were earning on average 10 times as much as the other 97% put together. So clearly it's obvious, right? You got to have goals. You have to have it in place, ready to go, written down in order to accomplish them. So we invite you to open up your workbook to pages 4 through 7, and you need to have a written goal and a plan. So take a moment, write down a 1-year goal, quarterly goal, and a monthly goal. What do you expect to accomplish during this next month? What about the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and at the end of next year? Where do you see your practice? What kind of revenue do you expect to be generating? How are you going to get there? Well, those goals is a starting point for reaching them. So take a moment, write down your goals. First, what's your revenue target? Where are you at last year? Where do you want to be in 2022? What kind of growth do you anticipate? What would you like to see? Write that down, make a note of it, and then figure out how much is that every month. So on a monthly basis, if you want to grow your practice by $250,000 next year, well, what does that come out to be per month? Maybe 20,000 a month, right? So you need to have that monthly number and be tracking it. How many new patients will that require? Do you know what your patient pays you on average every year? How much revenue does each patient bring into your practice? And then lastly, what's your average patient annual value? And really that's the big number that we want, right? What does that average patient bring in every single year? Well, when you do the math, now you know exactly how many new patients you have to bring in to reach the revenue at the end of 2022. So that's the basics. So we're gonna walk through a very quick example. If you want to grow by 250,000, you need an additional $20,000 a month in revenue. What's your average annual patient value? One average that we kind of see is somewhere around $1,000 to $1,200. We use $950 as an example. Well, doing the quick math on that, it's 22 patients per month. So if you get 22 new patients every single month during 2022, on average, you're going to see that growth. How many leads will you need though? Because those are new patients, but how many leads do you need to bring in order to actually result in patients? Well, it really depends on your conversion rate. So if you convert or turn 60% of the people who are interested, they might call, text, email, reach out into an actual patient where they follow through, they don't not show up, but they actually show up for an appointment, they become a consistent patient. If you close 60%, you need 37 leads every single month to get those 22 new patients to reach that growth. Again, our workbook will help you with that. Here's a QR code you're welcome to scan. And we've got a nice budget allocation worksheet that will help you walk through those numbers for your practice. You can put them in and see exactly where you need to be as you start reaching and setting those goals for your practice. So what are your goals for 2022? How many leads we need to get there? Well, we look forward to seeing you as you implement and set those numbers for the next coming year. So let's talk about